Alright, what a fantastic view on Indian Trace here. These are huge pieces right here. I saved the biggest for last on the Heritage Series here, from the bottom. Again, the size of these things is as big or bigger than my hand in the palm, and I'll show you those in a minute. That's pretty recent, we've seen that. But I wanted to show you some of and I have to get way back here. Bigger pieces, my biggest pieces, if you will, and they all come from, of course, my display quality box down here on this side and here on the bottom. Best place for me just to keep those bigger pieces. Here's the cleanup though from today. This is wild. I knew that piece would be crystal clear, and look at that in the light. That is the point that I found today. Both of them. But this thing, I mean, you see my fingers through this. That's rare. You don't find that often. That is a sweet piece. A little bit of nick off the side, but that doesn't take away from it. That's a clear and gorgeous artifact. Just a great find to be able to get out there and find it. I like that. I wanted to give you a sort of a show, the cleanup, something close just to show you the clarity of that piece. And then, and this doesn't take anything away from this either. That was a nice piece found out there at the W property. Now look at these pieces. Where should I start? These are the big ones, the big boys from my collection. I'm going to start on this side. This is one of the very first Guilfords I ever found. It is huge. It is 4+ inches. And it's raw, but it sure is worked. The base is all rounded off. Just give you a close-up of the work done on it. A clear killer. Look at this piece here. Opening Sands have found this piece. This was a nice piece. They just probably couldn't get that outside edge off of there for whatever reason, and just went with it. Sort of a hump they couldn't get off of there. But just a great piece. And these are, just to give you a size, I mean, these are all huge. It's hard to get them into the camera. They're all huge. A recent one at the Lookout with the red tip. Nice pieces. Old, long lance points, and I just have a great handful of them in the box. And a couple people said, you know, what are those big pieces at the bottom of your box? So this is what it's all about right here. Look at this thing. What's interesting about this, if I can do it, is the base is actually built up, and then they thin down this rhyolite with the base sort of built up. It's the only way I can describe it if I can get into focus. It's not working real well for me. But indeed, it is a smoking point. One of the first ones I found at a field I don't get to go to that much just because it's not ready much. And look at this piece. Look at the flaking on that piece, will you? Holy cow. What in the world do you ever say about that, right? Other than that's a smoking point. Great piece, huh? Just worth a look at. And then a couple big old pieces right here. These are all big pieces. I mean, these you don't find whole that often. That was the best one I found until the one below it here that we're going to look at, the Marl Mountain varieties. Let me just jump over here and we'll go right down. This was a great piece I found at Crescent Woods. Just sharp as can be, and you could tell they hafted it in the way it was right here. Nothing's broken on it, it's all old patina. You could tell right through here where my thumb is. That's where the hafting ended on both sides to produce just a great point. That was unique. So a lot of times I'll keep a unique one like this one. Nice piece. Herahay, maybe. Unique though, that's all I know. Just like this one. Now that one and this one, these two came from the exact same site, right close to each other. Look at these pieces. Actually, it was the same site, if you're looking at these right now, that these two came from. Those two and these two came from within feet of each other. A little toss of a stone, not even. Look at this piece. A couple years ago I found this. I don't even know what to make of that. Other than that, it's a nice artifact. They're all old, but this was a flat-out smoker. Maybe you can find it on film 2 years ago or so before I even knew I would even post films. Herahay, is it? Whew, that's a good angle of it right there. Nice artifact. And then the biggest couple ones over at Site 6 that I found, and this is a big piece. Guilford straight base, wide. You don't find them like that often. Relieved. Good stuff. And then this one here I found at Mecca. It was the biggest piece I had ever found when I found it. And it was just wild to find it. Not broken, you know. So thin. Alright, let me push the finish here. Give you a good look at that without pulling away too fast. And all those are smokers. Those Guilfords are big smokers. And you can't get away from that. And I'm going to finish up with a couple smokers. This thing is crazy right here. And anything anybody out there can tell me about these things, I'm all for it. This was then the next 2 years ago or so piece that I found, the biggest piece. I couldn't put it on film because it was raining and I was getting hypothermia out there. I was soaking wet and came across this. Biggest piece I ever found at the jump off. I mean, biggest piece around it. This is just crazy. Look at that. Right in the hand. And it is strong and big. I had no doubt they were hunting Eastern Bison with this thing. And then this thing came along. Even better grade. Rhyolite and banded. I found this at the Vulture just this year. Can you even... I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy, beautiful. This, as you've asked, is what's on the bottom. The big stuff on the bottom, everybody. And to finish was this marvelous Marl Mountain. Absolutely stellar. And super light as can be. It's crazy. This has been shown, so I won't show it a whole lot. But it's just worth another look. Whew. Anyway, got to conclude the same way I started, because these are just absolute, you know, that'd make a good frame on its own, wouldn't it? I appreciate everybody's patience. Thanks for tuning in to Indian Trace. It's a good thing just to appreciate these artifacts from the North American Indian. Hope you find out there.